Caution, this video is a little bit scarier, and every video on this channel are true stories or they are based on true stories.
Have you ever wondered what true loyalty looks like? Does it even exist in a world that's constantly changing? Well, let me take you back in time to a story that's so powerful, so moving, it will restore your faith in the deepest bonds we can form. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the true story of a dog named Hachik, whose love became a legend. Our story begins nearly a century ago, in the bustling heart of Tokyo, Japan. In 1924, a kind university professor, Hitsubaru Ueno, welcomed a small, fluffy, golden brown Akita puppy into his home. He named him Hachik, which can be translated as the Eighth Prince. Little did he know, this puppy wasn't just a pet. He was about to become a symbol of devotion for the entire world. From the very beginning, their bond was extraordinary. It was more than just owner and dog. It was a partnership, a friendship built on a simple and breakable routine. Every single morning, without fail, Hachik would proudly walk alongside Professor Ueno to the Shibuya train station. He'd watch his best friend disappear into the crowd, boarding the train for work. And then, he'd go home, patiently waiting for the day to pass. But the most magical part of their day happened in the evening. As the clock neared 5 p.m., Hachik would get up and make his way back to the station. He'd sit at the very same spot, his eyes scanning the faces of the people pouring out of the train, his tail ready to wag with joy. And every single time, Professor Ueno would step off the train, see his faithful friend, and they would walk home together. This was their ritual, a daily promise of reunion. For a year, this beautiful routine painted a picture of pure happiness and companionship. But then, one day in May of 1925, the promise was broken. Professor Ueno went to work as usual, with Hachik seeing him off at the station. But that afternoon, while giving a lecture, the professor suffered a sudden cerebral hemorrhage and tragically passed away. He never made it back to the train station. He never came home. That evening, at exactly 5 o'clock, Hachik arrived at his usual spot. The train pulled in, the doors opened, and a crowd of commuters flooded the platform. Hachik searched every face, his hopeful eyes darting back and forth, waiting for that familiar smile. But Professor Ueno wasn't there. The minutes turned into an hour, and then another. The station slowly emptied, but Hachik didn't move. He waited, confused but unwavering, until long after the last train had come and gone. He didn't understand what had happened. All he knew was that his friend was supposed to come back. So, the next day, he returned. And the day after that. And the day after that. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The seasons changed. The cherry blossoms bloomed and fell. Summer heat gave way to autumn chill, and winter snow blanketed the city. But one thing remained constant: Hachik, sitting at the station gate, waiting. At first, the station workers and regular commuters thought he was just a stray. Some were annoyed by his presence. But soon, people who knew Professor Ueno began to realize what was happening. They saw the profound grief and loyalty in the dog's eyes. This wasn't just a stray, this was a friend waiting for a friend who would never return. Word of the loyal Akita began to spread throughout Shibuya. The locals were deeply moved by his story. They started bringing him food and fresh water. On cold nights, they'd wrap him in blankets. The station master made sure he was safe, and even Professor Ueno's former gardener took him in for a while. But no matter how much love and care others offered him, Hachik's heart belonged to one person. Every day, like clockwork, he would escape his new home and journey back to the station. His mission was singular: to wait for the professor. This went on for 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days. Imagine that. Over 3,500 days of waiting. Through rain, wind, and blistering sun, he was there. His once golden brown coat became worn and matted. He grew older, slower, but his spirit never faltered. He became a familiar, silent figure at the station, a living monument to loyalty. His vigil taught an entire city the meaning of unconditional love. In 1932, One of Professor Ueno's former students, who had become an expert on the Akita breed, saw Hachik at the station and followed him home. He learned the dog's incredible story and was so touched that he published several articles about him. Suddenly, Hachik's fame exploded. He became a national sensation. People from all over Japan traveled to Shibuya just to see him, to offer him a gentle pat and a treat. He was held up as a chukin, a faithful dog, and his story was used to teach children about loyalty and devotion. Then, on a cold morning, March 8, 1935, the wait was finally over. Hachik was found lying peacefully on a street near the station. He had passed away at the age of 11. He was found in the very place where he had spent a decade of his life, his gaze forever fixed on the station gate, as if in his final moments he was still waiting, still hoping to see his beloved master one last time. The news of his death plunged the nation into mourning. Japan wept for the dog who had taught them so much about love. His story wasn't just about a dog waiting for an owner, it was about a love so pure and so powerful that it transcended time, logic, and even death itself, to honor his incredible legacy. A bronze statue was erected right outside Shibuya Station, at the very spot where he waited. It was unveiled in a grand ceremony, with Hachik himself present as the guest of honor, a year before he passed. Though the original statue was melted down for the war effort, a new one was created in 1948, and it stands there to this day. Today, the Hachik statue is one of Tokyo's most famous landmarks. Millions of people from all over the world visit it every year. It's a popular meeting spot, a place where friends and loved ones reunite. And in a beautiful twist of fate, the dog who waited alone for so long is now the reason countless people come together. Hachik's story reminds us that the bonds we share with our animal companions can be among the most profound of our lives. His legacy isn't just about a dog's loyalty, it's a timeless lesson about love, hope, and the unbreakable spirit of devotion. It shows us that even in the face of heartbreaking loss, love endures. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey into the past. If Hachik's story touched your heart as much as it did mine, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. What does loyalty mean to you? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.